Alright, back in Thronebreaker. Now, we have a decision to make. Do we attack this Nilfgaardian encampment or not? I'm not sure. I really want to, since they attacked us via the avalanche. We have no wood now? I guess we lost that in the avalanche. We have 0 wood. We lost like 2,000 gold too. I didn't notice that. Oh, we're down to 90 recruits. The avalanche is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Just head up here. I think there's a golden chest from where that guy hid something.
When she and her force had
Gotta measure
traveled
this
half
first,
the way
though.
to the first, she heard a long roar that made snow shells detach and descend. Without waiting for her scouts to return with reports, Meve drew her sword.
Battle time. Didn't expect that. Right into it here. Shortened battle. Shortened battle. Again, Skull's not great in shortened battle. We are at a little bit of a disadvantage here. All these weakened cards. That's a lot of Lyrian Arbalists, though. We do have 8.
Eyes up, lads! They're flying straight for us!
That they are, Gabor. That they are. Let's go straight in with the pikemen.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
Fighting Frosty's killing off all our guys, which is really annoying. I'm trying to build up some things here. Let's use one of these. I'm gonna get some stuff boosted up for Arbalists. At least it takes damage from that. Alright, I guess we just start with the Arbalists now. Get rid of this. It shouldn't be too bad. We do have Ache. Ache will destroy everything here. Then again, we're losing all of our other cards.
Quite the clever little contraption they gave us. Work of a gnome, of course.
Oh, for measuring?
Lyria!
Great. We'll admit, this is not going very well. I think it's time for the decree. Just get a bunch of guys out. We'll keep this thing alive, hopefully. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. At least he's taking a bunch of damage from these death wishes. Ache is huge, though. We definitely want to kill us off. Beasts are being really annoying here. Oh, man. Now, I thought with this many Arbalists would be okay, but to be fair, we still have 8.
Give me a time.
And I'm pretty sure he's just going to win this by himself again. He is so good versus monsters. Like, hard to... You guys can see how good Ache is versus monsters here. Doing the work of the good book. We will decoy this guy back to our hand. And here we go with our 72.8. Taking another battle. Good job.
Take those measurements and let's be gone from this place.
What a good idea.
The Lyrians managed to repel the monsters and reach both peaks. Upon each, Meve ordered her men to take the measurements. While waiting, she admired the breathtaking view of the Mahakam Massif. The dwarven contraption left no room for doubt. The peak within the Dalberg clan territory was 2 feet higher than that within
Good to know.
Hoog territory. Gabor was clearly displeased.
I
with the
imagine
results.
why.
Damn it all! I'd hoped you'd prove Brouver's clan was in the right. He'd have been content to see the Dalbergs knocked down a peg or two, and possibly he'd have been more inclined to help you.
Said the dwarf in frustration. Then, after a pause, he added,
Although, only you saw what the device showed, Queen. Perhaps you could, recalibrate the results a wee bit?
'Tis most lowly and ignoble.
That is
Aik
true.
cried out in protest.
A knight, his honor would never stain with such a lie.
You're right, Ake. You would not. We were hired to be an impartial observer, and that's what we're going to be.
To lie would be simple, true.
Said Meve.
Yet to forget the matter would be so much harder. No, Gabor.
And what if they measured it again at some point to like check the results? We'd be in so much trouble.
Gabor let the matter lie, and Meve's force began its descent down the mountainside.
Well, I'm sure they're not going to be happy to hear that. I think there is a golden chest up here. There we go. Let's grab this.
The dwarves of both clans had been waiting with bated breath for the expedition's return and report. As soon as Meve announced the results, the Dalbergs rolled barrels of beer out into the square and began to celebrate. Naturally, the Hoogs were disappointed, yet they accepted Meve's results as final. At last, they had come to trust.
That's good at least.
Dalbergs are the dwarves we need. Every Hoogs are dunder heed. Dalbergs are the dwarves we need. Dalbergs are the dwarves we need.
Now, back to the question at hand.
There, my lady.
Whispered one of the scouts.
Left of the path.
Meve squinted. The Nilfgaardians had taken shelter from the falling snow under a rocky outcropping. The smell of roasting meat wafted from their campfire, and echoes of laughter could be heard. The black-clad soldiers had reason to celebrate. They had just decimated Meve's company without even drawing their weapons.
Typical Nilfgaardians.
Meve's gaze caught something else. A metal container into which the Nilfgaardians tossed bones once they'd been gnawed clean. It looked strangely familiar. Only after a moment did the Queen understand it was an overturned Lyrian helmet dug out of the snowy grave of one of her men.
The whoresomes.
Meve hissed.
They'll pay for this.
Meve, asking you last time, keep a cool head.
Whispered Gabor.
You want vengeance? I get it. But think of the cost. If so much as a hair gets plucked from O'Vane's head, Brouver will never forgive you, and you can kiss any hope of aid goodbye.
Silence followed, finally to be broken by one of the scouts.
Milady, what's the order? Do we attack?
Well, fine.
No.
We've
Said
followed
the
the
Queen
rules so
after
far.
long deliberation.
But milady, they...
I know what they did, and that I shall never forget nor forgive.
Said Meve, placing a hand on her scout's shoulder.
But breaking dwarven law only plays into the
That is true.
Nilfgaardians' hand, causing us to lose allies and our chance for victory.
Meve brushed the snow from her trousers and straightened her spine.
Avenge our comrades we shall. Not here, but in the fields of Lyria and Rivia.
The Lyrians resumed their march with heavy, beleaguered steps. Their path still piled high with the snow brought down by the Nilfgaardians.
Guys are lucky. Don't worry. The rest of you Nilfgaardians will pay for that. We've gone along with the local laws everywhere we went, so.
For frostbite, you'd best avail yourself of some onion juice. Even better if you had a wee nip of vodka. Oh, snorters are frozen solid. Not just those in my beard. Once we're neath Carbon, we'll find a way the tavern. For frostbite, you'd best avail yourself of some onion juice. Even better if you had a wee nip of vodka.
As Meve neared Langbridge, she ordered her bugler to announce her arrival, then retired to her tent to freshen up. Gascon was already inside.
What do you got, Gascon?
I do not seem to recall summoning you.
In that case, I must tell you to fret not. Nothing wrong with your memory. I've come with no agenda. Spontaneously, call it, to chat.
Then I propose you leave, just as spontaneously, call
Nice
it.
move.
I must don fresh clothes. I'm to see the Elder soon, and I'd prefer to not smell of horse sweat.
Doubt it'd make much difference to him. And be assured, I know what I speak of. When last we met, I found myself standing downwind of him. A pungent experience.
Thanks, Gascon.
Well, Hugh was saved the experience of his breath. So pungent I thought I might faint.
Well, to revive you, pinch you awake, I'm sure would be quite a pleasure.
Gascon, I beg your pardon. Ugh, I shall have nightmares now.
Not tonight. For I fear you might not
Why is that,
sleep at all.
Gascon?
You see, there's something you ought to know. And decidedly before you meet with Brouver. The sites we cleared of beasts, I ferreted a bit. Noted something peculiar. Any notion what it was?
None. The monumental dwarven architecture, perhaps?
Bones, my dear Meve. Dwarven bones. Now, guess what I
I'm
found
gonna guess
on them?
it was something bad.
Wait, don't dare give me any hints. Bite marks.
Of course. After all, they'd been gnawed clean of all flesh by monsters, incidentally making it quite easy to spot other markings. Ones made by axes and swords. To be certain, I showed the bones to our medics, and they confirmed my
Oh,
conclusion.
great.
Meaning what? That the entire clan, the Fuchses,
did not perish due to an invasion of beasts from the depths. The monsters merely ate the bodies and occupied empty
And how
homes.
did this come to be?
Now, I shared my discovery with Gabor, and guess what he did? He panicked. He started to squirm, babble nonsense. I wager my right arm, he's hiding something.
blast. Overly eager to aid us from the start he was. I might have said
Yeah.
something.
Might have.
I shall have him summoned at once. And I thank you, Gascon. I won't forget this.
Minutes later, Gabor stood before the Queen. At first, he tried to mislead her with evasive answers, but as her pointed questions demolished one clumsy excuse after another, he
All
had
right,
to give
Gabor,
in.
what happened here?
Oi. As King Desmond said after a hefty squirt in his hose, we can't sweep this under the rug.
If you think I welcome jests in this moment, you err. My fingers itch to summon the hangman.
Right. So. 'Tis true. I misled you. On our clan elder's orders.
Of course. And what did he say?
Supposed to make sure you destroyed Burr's Rump and Davor's Abyss thoroughly enough to leave nae
And why is that?
Why? What did they wish to hide?
They was home to the Fuchses, our mortal enemies. They'd been a-boiling our heinies for ages, thumbing their noses, taking what they want when they want, and the Elder-in-Chief didn't gie a ploughing whit. So to stop them, our clan, we did the unpardonable. The Ziggurin elders saw their chance and
Oh, Gabor.
Gods. So you were responsible for the deaths of all those dwarves?
me? I didn't raise a finger, tried to stop them in fact.
No witnesses survived, meaning you must have murdered the entire clan. How?
Queen,
Yeah.
sure you...
I am.
Scoia'tael and
You should be
Eldain
sure
probably
to
did
answer
worse.
in full, omitting no detail.
A few years back, we got pummeled by a horrendous winter. Stone-breaking frosts, whiteout storms, avalanches. Made travelling a painful form of suicide. Hunger drove beasts out of their dens. Pass was covered in the filth. Got to where they paced right outside the walls. Fuchses fought a hard, bloody fight to keep the critters out of Davar's abyss. Lost near every axe-wielding dwarf they had. Only survivors had to winter at Burr's Rump. Our elders felt such an opportunity wouldn't knock again. After killing the town's meagre guard, they set fire to it and barricaded the gates. They didn't stand a chance.
Bastards. How in the world did the truth go undiscovered?
Once it were over, our dwarves opened the gates. Before they'd lit their pipes, starving beasts came crawling out of the pass. The stank of dead flesh was strong. Zigrins who came back from that never were the same. If you'd only gandered their gaze when they had us all take a vow of silence. And then...
You invented that blarney about primeval monstrosities the Fuchses had awoken by
Course they
mining
did.
too deep. A riveting tale, and one with a moral to boot.
Aye. But the elders worried Brouver would suspect
Wonder why.
something all the same. That's why they wanted you to destroy all the evidence.
Repugnant. You claim not to have taken part, but neither did you do anything to stop the massacre.
What was I to do exactly? The elders had decided. Nae a dwarf would listen to me.
You might have informed the Elder-in-Chief. The guilty would have been punished.
That's a good point.
The guilty? You dinna ken Brouver. He'd punish the whole clan. Women, children, nae exceptions. Maeve, Queen. I'm begging you. He canna ever
Why not,
learn this.
Gabor?
Aye. I want a hack flame too when I think what the elders done. But t'other way it'd bring but more pain and death.
I need to consider what's right.
That we will do.
Meanwhile, Gascon, make sure Gabor remains our guest.
Of course. I'll let you know if he so much as rolls his eyes towards an escape route.
Gabor, come on. Well, this is going to be the end here. We do want to go grab this real quick. Since we lost all of our wood, we'll send out one more scouting expedition. See what we missed. Just 2 things. So we'll go grab those real quick. Then head back up here. That we can't get because it's a Nilfgaardian camp. But this one will take us just a minute. While we think about what we're going to do with Gabor. So far we've basically gone along with all the local stuff. Like, we respect what their laws and all that. So I'm pretty sure... And then also, like, they did so much. Like, they killed a whole clan. Can't just not tell Brouver about that. That's inside the Nilfgaardian camp, so we won't get that. Let's keep going. Alright, what are we missing? Approaching important moment. Journey, if you choose to continue, will not be able to resume any unfinished activities. So we have 12 quests, 7 puzzles, battles 1. We have 8 out of 8 golden chests. Before we go too far, I want to just double check that we read all of our reports and stuff. Don't think they got taken away, but... Alright, we're good. We have all these? Complete. Yeah, okay, we're good.
Brouver stood by the bridge like a statue, arms crossed, eyes squinting. Maeve sighed inside. She stood little chance of having a pleasant chat.
Elder-in-Chief, sir.
No Sharon and Grayson here, lass. Plowing humans. Always out to fix things, always end up...
Okay, Brouver, I see how your dwarves did around here.
You think you're due glory, do you? Monster Slayer Maeve? Patroness of dwarves? Blast it. What do you think? Why didn't I exterminate those beasts myself, eh? Go on,
Give them
tell
something
me.
to do.
For you.
For I didn't want to. For something didn't fit, damn it. So I resolved to not destroy their nests and evidence till I learned the truth of who done it.
Oh, we got the truth for you, Brouver, though.
Postponed it all those years expressly. Though your subjects were dying.
I dinna need no lectures from the likes of you. Justice must be served. That's worth any price. And I was close. Had leads. And now it's all gone to hell. You flooded Devore's abyss. You brought Borrow's rump down on itself. And I'll never ken who killed the Fuchses. Understand?
Oh, but I know.
Never.
I would not be so sure
Sure a bloody what?
that you shall never learn the truth. For I learnt it just moments ago. 'Twas the Zigrins who killed the Fuchses.
Come on, get. Alright, Brouver, you could have figured this one out.
The Sikrans? But, hold. Aye, would explain a lot, that. Ah, the snakes, worms, rogues! Why, I'll show 'em. All right. Got to admit you've more in that pretty heat of yours than I expected, but dinna you start thinking we'll be toasting a new friendship. You want our aid? You'll have to answer our questions.
Sure,
My
Brouver.
questions. Lots of them. And they're all hard, so dinna you go smiling at me yet.
Why, I wouldn't dare.
Better not. Right. Time we moved on.
Brouver set off at a brisk pace, paying Meve nor anyone else heed. The Elder's bodyguards rushed after him, then came the Lyrian force, and at its end trudged Gabor Zigrin, hands and feet in shackles.
Well, bye, Gabor. Alright. Is there anything around here? Just inside. On Langbridge, been to stomp, jump, no edge, stop for rest, carve runes and handrails. We just stopped, better hurry up. These guys are all stopped.
What? Oh, Elder's furious. Let humans neath carbon.
What else we got around here?
Dwarves demonstrate innovative thinking in many domains: metallurgy, engineering, architecture. Yet there is one in which they could not be bothered: naming. For this reason, the bridge that linked the Mahakam Pass with Mount Carbon was simply named Langbridge. Meve learned it was a thoroughly fitting name. Having stopped for a breath halfway across the road suspended over a deep chasm, the Queen could see neither end
That's impressive.
of the bridge, both concealed by thick clouds.
Amazing.
Whispered the Queen.
I feel as though we traversed the very sky.
The Queen and her retinue were nearing Mount Carbon when Meve heard a cry. It was Xavier.
Hold! Hold!
Meve drew in her reins abruptly. Her mare neighed and reared, lifting the Queen above her formation of men. From that height, she saw the last pier of the bridge crumbling. The dwarves at the head of the procession were unable to stop in time and plummeted, screaming into the abyss.
What's the meaning of this, gods damn it?
Brouver roared.
Fetch the engineers! Now!
The Queen was striving to calm her spooked mount when she sensed something swish past her ear. Out of nowhere, a Scoia'tael band had appeared at the rear of the column. Before anyone could react, elven archers had felled the rear guard. The soldiers lay on the bridge's stone surface with arrows in their backs. Meve was trapped. In one direction lay the chasm, in the other, a fierce foe. She had no choice but to stand and fight.
Well, that's not surprising. Story battle, shortened battle, extra cards. Extra cards is interesting. Extra cards is very interesting. Mahakam Axe Dwarf. Yeah, Brouver again. Let's go with this.
At last, Rena! You are mine!
We're trapped, Your Grace. but we can try and fight our way through.
Cliff. Whenever a unit is moved the same row as Cliff, destroy it. Well, that sounds fun. Where's Brouver?
Think you poor bags can do whatever the devils you please? This is Mahakam!
That is a fact.
Got business for me?
Tracker. I wonder if we can overwrite the Biting Frost. I guess the Biting Frost doesn't matter. Because it dies if it goes in the flip row.
Special prize. Just
Yeah, I
for
kind of
you,
figured the
love.
Wagenberg was going to die. Worth a shot. Moving unit one row away from the opponent. I'm not entirely sure what that means, so we're going to try it.
For Mahakam!
Nay, Dwan camest.
Alright, so this moves what? So it moves us one row away from us. Okay, that makes sense. Let's go with these guys.
There's not to reason why.
There's nothing about Brouver not dying, right?
Humans!
Let's do this again. These guys are pretty handy, not gonna lie. Look at this.
May your sword and arm be one.
This Axe Dwarf is making everything pretty easy.
One bolt, all I need. Now we will see who is weak. Give me a target.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Not much strategy to this one. So we just push people off the cliff.
Ryan!
Fair amount of points there. But not going to be enough. What's his last card gonna be? Oh, it's the trap. So then we get a really big gate. That's cool. It's gonna be the one that trains us to their power.
Obelisk is your
Yep.
command.
They almost have nothing left. That's quite nice.
God's blast it! My breastplate chafes.
No! Let her in! She must die!
I don't think so.
Their strength combined, the Lyrians and dwarves managed to defeat the Scoia'tael. The guerrillas had weakened the last span of the bridge, turning the crossing into a deadly trap. Had Xavier, who noticed the weakened structure at the last instant, not called out, all would have fallen
Thank you,
into the
Xavier.
chasm. The Lyrians
Again.
managed to capture the unit commander. She stood, her head raised high, and when Meve glared at her, she did not avert her eyes.
Crow's Eye.
What is your name, elf?
Abayeth met a parstwan.
She said,
Yes.
Thank you, Reynard. I know well what she said. Kiss my ass, is that truly the best you can muster?
I'd rather show you exactly what I can muster. Tell them to unbind me.
You got your opportunity. On the battlefield. Will you not tell me what they call you? Fine. It's all the same to me. I'm more interested to know how you came to be here. Who sent you?
No one. It was my decision to kill you, and thus avenge
Yeah,
Elden.
good for you. Save El.
You've elven blood on your hands. The blood of the elves of the Moulderwood.
Do I regret the events in Moulderwood? No, not really.
Eldain was a criminal. He got what he deserved.
That's attacking me.
You call him a criminal? What do you call humans who murder our kind in pogroms,
Also criminals.
who massacre us? What do you call Black Rayla who fought at your side? Do not
Also a
dare
criminal.
compare us. Do not dare!
Enough. I've heard all I wish to hear.
But I haven't. Did you fall on your heed, elf, eh? If you want to fight humans, go on and do it. You cannot talk sense to idiots that nay here, damn it. Mahakam is and will be neutral.
You cannot be neutral. To Dwan, you are either their foe or their dog. Mahakam has stood aside, sleeping long enough. That is why we struck it in its very heart, as a call to battle. A call to brethren whom you, Elder, have kept from the world too long.
I have kept him away. I've been bloody right
Apparently.
to do so. You want to play at war, you numpties? You want to force the Pontar to flow upstream? Gang right ahead. Good riddance, I say. Gan kill, gan die if you fancy. But God's damn it, leave us alone. Yeah, I should kill you. With my own hands. I should cut your throat, put you out of your misery. That's what you want, innit? To die? To die a stupid death? Well, I'll not grant you that. Nay, nay, I'll lock you in a tower. Sit there 3 centuries, and you just might grow a brain.
Unlikely.
Brouver Hoog gazed after the shackled elf as she was led away. Neve expected him to continue fuming, cursing her. But the dwarf stood silent, and his old eyes, half concealed by brows bushy as a forest floor, showed not anger, but the deepest sadness. Dwarven engineers made quick work of repairing the crumbled bridge span.
That was an abrupt transition.
Look, Mount Carbon. Damn. And I thought Novigrad was big.
So the elves are against them. Truth be told, I supported the Scoia'tael of war. Army-end bastards. Raising our own... Truth be told, I supported...
Before we do this last thing, I think we want to just check on what this is. I think it's our card. We got Crow's Eye. Interesting. That would have been really good in that fight. Really good.
The Lyrians stepped inside Mount Carbon's bowels. Neve rode while looking upwards, admiring the intricately carved ceiling, gilded walls, monumental bas-reliefs carved from basalt. Yet this was no time to admire the sights. Brouver Hoog had summoned her to speak.
I thank you for your invitation, Elder.
Aye, invitation. Choice term, lass. You wangled your way in here. Long I've lived, but ne'er have I seen a wench so stubborn.
Mind you of yourself yet, Brouver?
With all due respect, do you not feel like a pot conversing with a kettle?
Ha! True enough. Changes of mind didn't come easy to me. But they do come at times. Human wars concern me not at all. For so many they are, who could count them? Near a year goes by without one wanking king invading another's realm. A dog with scabies is less restless. That's why, this morning, I aimed to send you off with nothing. Mattered not what the clans were saying. Rivia, Schmivia, who gives a sheep's fart? But that was this morn, before that daft wench and her pups attacked. Nilfgaard supports the Scoia'tael, it's common
That it
knowledge.
is.
Nilfgaard uses them. Well, I'm nae worse, and I choose to use Queen Meve.
Sure.
So what use would you make of me, if I might ask? You've a plan?
Aye, the kind dwarves like best. Simple, but
Simple but sneaky. That's my favorite kind of plan, too.
like to give Nilfgaard a warning, you ken. If you're going to rile my dwarves, throw 'em into the Scoia'tael ranks. You'll regret it, aye? But I'd like to issue the warning without declaring war. All clear.
I think I know what's going on here.
So, when you march out of Mahakam, you'll find a company of our foot dwarves waiting out with the gate. Officially, volunteers, enlisting with you against my will. And you're to put them at the fore next time you face Nilfgaard. Want the Blackclads to break their teeth on our bucklers, get a taste of our axe blades. After that, dare say they'll think twice before they send more Scoia'tael into these
Probably true.
hells.
I do not... Thank you, Elder. You restore my hope that I shall have my home back in the end.
A week back I'd have laughed you down the mountain. At last you're a plucky wench. And with summit in that heat of yours. To talk so many clans over to your side's dead easy. Who kens? It just might be the end to drive Nilfgaard back across the Yaruga.
I shall. You will see. Before the year is up. You've my word.
Reaching for the stars. You shan't get there without resources. I'll see to it you want for nought.
I shall be in your debt to my dying day.
Meaning what? For another
That's probably
15
true.
years? Dinna bother.
Okay. Got the Volunteer Corps. Mangler. I have to check these guys out.
I would like to march at once. So by your leave...
Nay, not granted. At once? What's that mean? Our laws are clear. Guests are to be sent off with a thundering feast. Even the humans.
That's not bad.
Brouver, as was Brouver's wont, insisted. So the Queen accepted the invitation, but as was her wont, set a condition. The feast was to last but one night, and not, as was the wont of local custom, an entire week. All clans
This
were
went
to
pretty
be
well.
represented at the feast, save
Yeah,
one,
the
of course,
Zigrins.
the Zigrins. For they had already learned their punishment. The entire clan was banished from Mahakam. An exception was made for one of their number, for Gabor, who was beheaded before the day was done.
Bye, Gabor. It's unfortunate.
When the sun had retired
But,
behind the peaks, the underground
can't
city
keep
came
that
alive
secret.
with the sound of bugles, bagpipes, and horns. The dwarves emerged out into the central square and danced exuberantly, sparks kicking up from their hobnail boots. The usually crabby
Sorry about the audio
Suddenly, a
there.
messenger arrived. Brouver lifted his copper horn to his ear and listened with furrowed brow.
What's that? Speak up.
When she saw a sour grin on his face, Meve knew the tidings
Great.
were not good. Yet she did not suspect they pertained to her directly.
Leave. You expecting anyone?
Not really.
How's that?
Runner says a delegation's arrived at Carbon. Lyria and Rivia. Got a Nilfgaardian
Of course they do.
escort.
How dare they? Traitors. Who leads it?
You'd best sit.
It's Villem.
Who leads the delegation?
Yep.
It's your son, Villem, I fear.
Villem.
Mahakam remains neutral as regards all your squabbles. I trust I needn't remind you. So I'll have no scrambling or shoving, and certainly no bloodshed. Point of fact, I'd prefer it if you...
I wish to speak to him.
I'd forbid you, but, as I said, never seen a more stubborn wench. Alrighty then, jabber away with him. Just remember, hands to yourself.
Meve spotted banners, a Lyrian eagle upon one surrounded by Nilfgaard's black rags. Her hands became fists, showing how helpless she felt. Then her son and rival, Villem, emerged from behind a row of Imperial
behind the
footmen.
Imperial footmen, I note.
My. I should apologize. It seems I missed the coronation. Congratulations, my son. Who was it who
Caldwell?
placed the crown? General Ebdahi?
There we go.
Count Caldwell.
Ah, yes. Our elder statesman. Why have you come here, of all places? To acquire arms for Nilfgaard?
As my official mission,
great.
yes. Yet unofficially, I wish to speak with you. I trust you've had tidings from the field. Edirn turned to ash and dust. Vizimir murdered Redania in chaos. Foltest forced to strike a pact, by his vassals betrayed, Henselt the same.
This limerick, will it come to a point?
Why, yes. To the same as this war. Mother, I beg you, you must see it. Nilfgaard's victory is inevitable. Surrender now, and I shall show you mercy. For later it'll be too late.
Is that so, Villem?
There will be no later. We shall repel them, drive them south at the points of our pikes.
This we, Mother? Who precisely do you mean?
It's not quite
alone.
true.
An impression many might have indeed. Yet I've allies. Those long loyal, and those new.
Where, Mother? In Zerrikania? For here, in the north, why, there are none.
That's
The
not
fight
true,
is
Villem,
done.
and you know it.
Your friends from Nilfgaard will learn that is simply not true. When their ignorance bites them in the arse.
So you aim to persist? Whatever
To win.
for?
For our freedom. For independence.
Curious. I could have sworn it was for your ambition. To soothe your wounded pride.
Okay, Villem.
When I was crowned, a fact you deride, though that makes it no less true, I swore the good of my subjects would guide me. And a war we are doomed to lose cannot in any way benefit
Except they're not
them.
doomed to lose, Villem.
And slavery
Exactly.
can. You know well the Blackclads put peasants in chains. Like cattle.
Reprehensible, I agree, but...
And resettlement? Forced labor? Cruel laws that make death the punishment for the slightest offenses? Are those benefits? Well, answer me!
I see I will not sway you, Mother. A shame, though I take comfort in the fact I tried. And now, adieu.
Oh no, I, not you, will decide when this conversation is over.
Oh, have we
Yes,
anything
have
else
we?
to discuss?
Are you perhaps aware that the Nilfgaardians tried to kill me?
What? Yeah, okay,
No,
Villem.
I heard only about
Uh-huh.
the avalanche.
Which tumbled down through no small effort of an Imperial envoy.
Never would I have agreed to such a heinous
Obviously, but
act.
you also have the responsibility to find out about this stuff when you're allied with them, Villem.
I believe you.
I'm heartened that, despite all we...
I believe you because I believe the Nilfgaardians wouldn't ever have asked your opinion. Think on it, son. Are you their ally or their tool? Can you ever be sure?
I am the king of Lyria and Rivia. To serve my subjects' best interests, I am prepared to make even the most painful concessions.
That doesn't really serve their best interests, Villem.
Might I leave now? Or is there more?
Naturally. How did you know you would find me here?
I received Nilfgaardian reports to the effect that you've been seen in
course.
the past.
Oh, roses are red and so are your cheeks, my son. As ever when you're caught in a lie. Lyria is 2 weeks' travel hence. Had you received word only once I was here, we'd have been long gone from Mahakam by the time you assembled a force and completed the march. No. You were forewarned of our intended route. It means I've a traitor in my ranks. Another one. Get out of my sight, Villem. And pray we only ever face one another on neutral ground.
Goodbye, Villem.
Maeve struggled inside not to turn and gaze once more at her son. He'd changed since they'd last faced each other, grown manlier, and he wore the crown well. The Queen returned to the banquet hall. Her advisors shot her questioning glances, curious what she had discussed with Brouver. But Maeve decided to keep the details to herself.
Smart.
One of them wore a Nilfgaardian lead around his neck. Until she knew who, she would have to remain vigilant.
That is very true.
Feasting's done, Reynard. We must consider our next move.
I've thought on it, Your Grace. We've strength enough to hit the foe, but still not the numbers to face him in open battle.
So what do you propose?
This war we cannot win alone, nor even with the dwarves at our side. But if we secure a victory, small yet symbolic, we shall show the other realms of the north all is
not a bad
lost.
idea.
Thus, I propose we attack behind the front lines, somewhere well clear of any major Imperial force.
Where would you suggest?
I'm considering Angren. To begin with, a thickly wooded marshy land, always helpful in clandestine operations. Secondly, the land strategically important, as it's the chief source of building material for Nilfgaard's
Can we have wood
fleets.
for our army then?
All too little, I fear. Since we require a victory that would be symbolic, we must strike where it shall hurt. And Angren
Just recently welcomed a new regent in the person of Count Caldwell. My third argument. Naturally, if Your Majesty wishes, I'm prepared to present.
Oh no, we're going
this.
to Angren.
No need. We march at dawn.
Maeve had toiled, cajoled, persuaded, and gained the dwarves' support. She left Mahakam strengthened markedly. Even so, the Queen was in a foul mood. For it was clear a traitor, a viper, nested among the Lyrians. Someone who had conveyed the Queen's plans to her foe. From this moment on, Maeve would need to weigh every word she uttered, even in the presence of her closest associates.
Your Grace, we must plot our course forward. Shall we take the western passage into Angren, or...
Not now.
When then? Dawn approaches, yet we know nothing of where...
I will not repeat myself.
The Queen knew she would learn the traitor's identity in the end. If need be, she would tear the name from the throat of another turncoat, Count Caldwell. Maeve drooled at the prospect of seeing Caldwell in chains, then passing him to the hangman.
Saddle the horses. I shall take the fore.
The time for diplomacy, for preparations and negotiations had gone. Maeve was to attack her foe at last, and she could not wait to do so.
Well, looks like we're gonna have a bunch of fights coming up.
At long last, Maeve's force reached Angren's marshy woods. Ever been? No? Count yourselves lucky.
You certain we haven't lost our way?
Alas, here there is no way. We continue south, that's all.
South meaning the bottom.
Should you ever venture there, I offer you this advice. Do your utmost to make no noise.
Oh boy.
Poor soul. His comrades cried out, reached out, but alas, amidst frothing waters they heard bones cracking, the moan of metal bent and crushed.
What the bloody hell, what was that?
Rather not know, personally.
Hold your positions! Arms at the ready!
It was a glusty war. One of many the Lyrians would encounter along their path. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. At last, Maeve and her force stood upon the Yaruga's bank. To find and punish the traitor Caldwell, they would have to cross the river. Yet the sole bridge nearby was
Not
in
for
Nilfgaard's
long.
hands.
All right.
Your Majesty, some new reports require your attention.
All right, let's check these reports out. So we got a letter from Brouver. And then, real quick here, we'll just go check out our deck. And then that'll be it for this island. Oh, I guess we'll talk to the guys first.
Yes, Your Grace?
Reynard, you fought in the first war against Nilfgaard, did you not?
Yes, Your Grace. Though, as a mere captain then.
Were they equally cruel? Did they scorch fields, turn peasants into slaves?
No, Your Grace. They fought
What
with
happened?
honor in those days.
So, what's happened? Why the change?
It's said Emperor Emir var Emrys's heart hardened over the years. He's grown crueler, more ruthless. His soldiers' zeal for violence has followed suit.
But you don't say that.
No, Your Grace.
To your mind, why do they now despise us as they war against us?
'Tis ever easier to loathe those you know. Before the first war, they knew nothing about us. Then they saw they'd the better weapons, larger cities, superior craft. But in our towns, waste flowed through the streets in open gutters, and they concluded we weren't their equals.
That is
It's far
certainly
easier to kill than
something
one
that
holds such a
happens.
belief.
It's time I attended
What do
to
we
what-
have here?
My soul rejoices, Your Grace. I heard you spoke with
Didn't have an
Prince
exclamation
Villem
mark, I don't
in
think.
Mahakam. An exchange, I've no doubt, fraught with difficulties, peppered with many a hurtful word.
Oh, none worse than those who spoke in Lyria when he ordered me placed in chains. What I felt then... Why, I dare say you'd have trouble imagining it.
I've no need to imagine, Your Majesty. This feeling, I don't oft speak of him, but I too have a son. Or more to the point, had
Great.
a son.
Siegfried.
His name.
Passed on, has he?
No, Your Majesty. Worse. He's renounced me. When an illness affected his mother, my wife, Sophia, he implored me to earn coin for her betterment. But I had vowed long ago never to take payment from those I protect. I could not. It would be a stain on my honor.
I see what happened here, Ake.
Apologies, Your Majesty. Of what concern to you can my petty troubles be?
They are, Ake. Believe me. And I thank you for confiding in me. I wish to discuss another matter, but... it can wait. I shall come back later.
Hey ho, how's my favourite queen in the north?
Ever have regrets? Feel remorse?
For what?
Oh, I don't know. Killing innocents, perhaps? Murdering travellers, pilgrims?
I've always warned them. Won't touch a hair on your heads, provided you don't resist. So, see, gave them a choice. Besides, innocents? Please, Maeve. We both know those to be mythical creatures. Everyone's got something on their conscience.
So there's always call for murder?
That's right. Dead right. You need but answer it.
It's time I attended to other matters. Farewell.
Yes, my lady?
I haven't had the opportunity to thank you. Had you not been so alert, we'd have fallen to our deaths in Mahakam.
I merely did my duty.
Good job, Xavier.
Modest as ever. Yet once the war is over, I shall make certain you're properly rewarded.
My lady, the one reward I desire is victory. Your victory.
Other matters await my attention.
Thanks,
We
Xavier.
shall speak later.
As you wish, my lady.
You need my help with anything? Anything at all? I've ideas aplenty.
Are there?
Ever travelled with an army before?
Frankly, Can't say that I have. You folk are my first. And let me say, it's not nearly as dull as I expected. Your travelling companions are fascinating.
That is also, that's accurate.
Is that so? Who, if I might ask?
Let me think. Then there's that aged woman. Isabel, is it? Oh, your grace, a complete lunatic, that one. Did you know she believes the world to be round? Round! Like an egg!
It's very funny.
And just between the two of us, the quiet chap, Xavier, gives me the willies, truth be told. Could just be on account of his face looking like a piece of taffy stuck to the sole of a boot. Who else? Oh, right, a word of advice. Never play Gascon at cards. He's a hustler, that one. And he tells tall tales. About debts, specifically. Ones that I suppose.
Oh, does he, Barnabas?
And a Reynard fellow. What a jester. Always good for a laugh.
I'm sorry, what?
Every day he barks at me, stand at attention, with a
That's
perfectly
pretty funny.
straight face. And last, he asked asked if I'd served in the Gnome
The Gnome Army.
Really. Sometimes I just can't with that man.
Very thorough, Barnabas. I thank you. Time I attended to other matters.
Ah, yes, you're still here.
So we talked to everybody, exclamation mark. Isabel doesn't have one.
I'm pleased to see
Yeah.
you again.
Duty calls.
What is Grey Rider here for? Oh, yeah, he tells us what we found. Alright, so we'll click here, take a look at the new cards, maybe change our deck, and we'll come back next time. What did we get? We got some dwarves. I don't see any dwarves. Oh, now I do. Got this guy. Move 2 units. How many of these we have? 5 of them. Nice. I think that's the maximum you can get. You can get 2, 4, or 5. I'm not sure exactly. Order, move 2 units with the same power to the other row on their side. You know, this can combo pretty well with the Gascon stuff. Maybe we'll use them. So 5 provisions for 5 power. The armor. Got this guy. Shield bearer. Set a unit's power equal to shield bearer's power. Okay, that could be useful. Could do an enemy unit too. That's actually pretty good. Can't target bosses. I like that one. Then there's another dwarf, right? Yeah, this guy. The Mangler. Damage an enemy and all units with the same power by 2. Again, that could be useful. Alright, let's go make some quick changes here. So what we want to do is not have a deck based around that one level. I like Decoy, I like Decree. Let's try one of the new ones out, though. Before we get to that, though, we have order cards now, thankfully. So Reynard can go back in the deck. Let's just go with a Dwarf Army for a little bit. That'll be fun. Combination of Dwarves and Gascons, guys, could be interesting. This gives us a charge. Do anything with charges? You do. So we can combo with this. I don't think we have any Blitz units left, so take out Decree. And then how many things with Order? We'll check on the upgrades too in a minute. So yeah, that's good. What has movement synergy? Gascon does. So we'll run Gascon. Could use some Grey Riders. Oh, we don't have Grey Riders. Well, that's not going to work then. Couple of these guys. This is really good if we boost him. So I think we want to run a couple boost cards for our artifacts. We'll make a deck based on these dwarf guys. So we're going to run Fortitude Tonic. Heal and strengthen by 10. That's good for this too. Two random trinkets could be interesting. Jade figurine could be good. Let's see. Blood could be interesting as well. Let's go with the Golden Froth, I think. That'd be better if we ran the Pikemen. There are 27 cards, by the way. I think Volunteer Corps is the weakest. It is a Blitz unit, though, actually. Hold on a second. Blitz. Okay, I think we want Decree, then. Decree. Let's go... Decree. They're all Blitz units. That makes Decree really good. How many boost cards do we have? Maybe a unit that boosts? Not really, actually. I do want the Golden Froth. We don't have a way to get a bunch of guys in a row. We'll just, I think, go with the dwarves for now. We'll try them out, see how we think they do. Maybe make some edits. And while we're here, let's check the upgrades. We have no wood because it got stolen from us. I do want this last trinket. We don't really need to wear a recruit cap. Now these are really good, but we can't afford that because it's too much wood. I don't care about more recruits, I don't think. Would like these pluses. These cost gold, mostly gold, so I think we'll go for some unit upgrades. The question is which ones. Lyrian Cavalry looks really good. If the max number is more than 2. And we need this trading post. So we're going to try and get to this trading post, I think. So our goal... Oh, Pikeman Plus is really good. So are these guys. And what else here? We don't really count movement speed. That much, I guess. Okay, these are some really good cards too. Like, I really wish we could afford more cards. I want to get the Onager, but we can't afford it. Okay, so we'll try and get to the trading post. That'll be our goal. And yeah, that'll be it for this one. A lot of talking, but we did manage to get to the next part. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.